Hi, I've spoken about enlightenment, about some things with yoga. We made a video on you not being your thoughts, or even the thinker of your thoughts. We've gotten to Muladhara, and now we've been talking about Svarishtana, about that level of consciousness. So maybe I'll return to it, maybe there will be more things, but I would like to continue and move on to Manipura, the solar plexus, and how to transcend that one, which is nicely called that, and I'm gonna say this probably more times, that the journey from Manipura to Anahata is called the longest journey. Manipura is also, in translation, a city of jewels. It's also called the seat of Satan, the seat of your ego in Manipura. And Anahata is the seat of consciousness. To go from Manipura to Anahata, you need to open up your heart. And that's difficult when you take yourself as the seeker. It's impossible to do as a seeker. That's why it takes so long, and that's why it seems to be unreachable. Someone who is a seeker and is on the level of Manipura, this person who is trying to enlighten or get somewhere, or just awaken, is gonna go on for years. He can go for lifetimes, where he just does more practice, does his practices for his whole life, with the thought, with the idea of one day becoming awakened, one day reaching the goal which he is pursuing. And that is the nature of the ego, of any kind of seeking, that there is a goal that you will one day reach. When you reach that goal, your mind goes, now what? And you just think of another one. Now I'm speaking in terms of more like even non-spiritual things, right? You have a dream, you have a goal, you want to get your own house, you want to get into a relationship, or you want children. It can be anything. And you know that when you reach the goal, you're gonna have the feeling of just achievement. There's a little moment of acceptance, of joy out of it, and then the mind just finds something new. Okay, now we're gonna chase this thing. And that's the way that the seeking works when it comes to spirituality. It is taken as this awakening, this whatever you made it out to be the goal that you will one day reach. That's why seekers stay seekers. And they have their gurus, they have their teachers, same way as you're listening to me talk. You're just expecting me to give you something, and that's why you are here. Or maybe you're just watching me because you like to consume spiritual things, and then you basically being here shows that you are taking yourself as a seeker. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's my job to show you that you are more than that, and to show you that you can discover what you're looking for, even though it's not a goal. It's not a goal to be reached somewhere in the future. It is a realization. It's not an achievement. So speaking about Manipura, and now going towards Manipura, before I start making videos or talking more about it, one thing is, it hasn't been long. It really hasn't been long since I had realized But trying to remember back to how things were when my energies were in Manipura, it's difficult because for my experience it was extremely painful. As soon as the energy movement from Swaristhana happened to Manipura, it was indescribable pain through the whole spine. I was sweating, burning, everything was spinning. I remember being in the kitchen holding onto a counter and trying to drink water, which made it even worse. Then I would just sit and I just sat and I just accepted that I am dying. That lasted for a while, which ended with the energy touching the neck and then exploding into the head, into the back of the head. It was like a hot electricity. But ever since then, extreme pains came up because of anxiety, great feelings of anxiety. Yeah, it was mostly anxiety. And like self-hate, doubt, many things came up. That went on until there was a realization that no matter what, or the more one tries to fight with themselves, with the mind, the more you fight and are in resistance towards your own thoughts or anything that happens within you, you will be in great pain. It can be different for everyone, but this is just to tell you my experience of it. So it's kind of a blur, but a lot of understanding and a lot of expansion came out of it. And that's when I also talked about grantees, and I said that on the level of on this level, to transcend the Vishnu Granti, which is the knot, the psychic knot between Manipura and Anahata, is to realize that what's keeping you there is this doership and this thinker. You taking yourself as the doer and as the thinker. This identity keeps you there. That is, just simply put. I talk about it more in the grantees video. But the only realization needed to start surrendering a little more, which helped then towards awakening, was a thought that came into my mind while working, while being at work, in great pain, and like it was persistent. The pains were persistent, and it was making the mind go insane. But then a thought came, and the thought was, what is causing all of this? What is causing the suffering? What is stopping? The thought said, what is stopping me from going higher, beyond this? And then noticing that it's me, that it's the me. The same one that is saying, how do I go beyond this? How do I stop this? Or how do I get somewhere higher? What is in the way? Then little searching, and then that this one who is asking this is the one who's causing the trouble. That wasn't it, but it was a noticing. It was a very small noticing, but it's a step. So that's something that I talk about in the grantees. Not about this story, but about you not being the doer or the thinker, and having this attachment and identity in the doership and thinking the thoughts and trying to control them and control what you do, what you did, what you think, what you thought, or what you might do in the future, and all kinds of nonsense is is the hindrance. So before we go into the Manipura, I don't think it's necessary, but it could be nice to make a guided meditation, the same way I did it at the end of Muladhara. Yeah, so I'll do a guided meditation, just for funsies. Thank you, have a lovely day, and bye bye, see you soon.